against the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh. Welcome everyone to Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. I'm John Sanders, along with Ron Perry. The Huskies tonight without Donnie Marshall. He has been suspended for one game. He will not be in uniform tonight.
Well, you get into a little bit Sunday with Charles Minland from St. John's. He will not play. He's the emotional leader on this UConn club, and without him, they have to step up their game, play with the kind of intensity that Donnie brings every night for the Huskies.
They do have some advantages, though, especially at guard. Actually, they have 2 point guards.
Some teams don't have any. With Daron Shepard, though, and Kevin Ollie, UConn has 2 guys that are outstanding. Great ratios, better than 2 to 1, both averaging over 6 assists per game, and they really distribute the ball well. Ray Allen has been the beneficiary much of the year.
Ralph Willard would like to have a new point guard, obviously. He needs guards, but what he really needs is players. 7 scholarship players tonight because Chad Varga is out probably for most of the rest of the season.
Well, he's injured his wrist. He tried to go about 10 days ago against Georgetown. The wrist is too sore, and that really poses problems for Ralph Willard because he's got 7 players, and Varga was giving a real lift scoring and rebounding.
And that puts more pressure on Jaime Peterson. Jaime, though, has been stepping up big of late.
He's been very consistent. You see his numbers. He's second in the Big East overall in rebounding, better than 13 points per game. So he's a guy that's got to come up big, and Pitt has got to handle the UConn press and get into the game early to be in this one.
And we'll see how the Huskies will do minus Donnie Marshall tonight. They are ranked number 2 in the nation, set to play the Panthers. We'll have the starting lineups for both teams coming up from Fitzgerald Fieldhouse after a word from your local station. They've moved the benches from one side of the court to the other, and they have a brand new court that has been installed. More on that as we go along. Right now it's time for tonight's Nationwide Insurance starting lineups. Check the yellow pages for the nationwide agent nearest you, who just might be Doug Black from Greensboro, Pennsylvania. And to handle the introductions of the teams and the coaches, the public address announcer here is Don Ireland.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting this evening's starting lineups for the UConn Huskies. At forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Dalzell, South Carolina, number 34, Ray Allen. At forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, number 32, Kirk King. At center for UConn, a 7-foot junior from Sandy, Utah, number 40, Travis Knight. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Ramat Ifal, Israel, number 11, Daron Shepard. At guard, a 6-foot senior from Los Angeles, California, number 12, Kevin Ollie.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
The head coach of the University of Connecticut is Mr. Jim Calhoun. And now, introducing the Pitt Panthers starting 5 for tonight. At forward, please welcome a 6'7" senior from the Bronx, New York, number 44, Orlando Antigua. Also at forward, a 6'7" senior from Houston, Texas, number 40, Chris Gant. At center is a 6'9" senior from New York City, number 21, Jaime Peterson. At guard for the Panthers, a 6'1" junior from Queens, New York, number 12, Andre Ulrich. And also at guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Forest City, Pennsylvania, number 22, Jason Mayle. The head coach of the University of Pittsburgh is Mr. Ralph Willard.
You've met the starters, you've met the coaches. We'll have basketball coming up from the field house. Jody Sylvester will have the opening tip. He'll work with Ted Valentine and Joe Mingle. We have more after a word from your local station.
They want to keep playing hard. They just had a big win against St. John's. Don't let up. Play with intensity. They always tend to do it. Without Donnie Marshall, they've got to step it up, score in bunches. That's the press, turning up lots of points for UConn.
And the Panthers.
They've got to handle pressure. They've got to take good care of the ball. They've been really turning it over. The point guard problems we've talked about, and hold their own on the backboards. There's Donnie. He won't be playing in this game for UConn. The numbers will be missed, but so will the emotional lift he gives the Huskies every game.
but very much part of the team, traveled here with them, not allowed to sit on the bench, so he's in the stands. The opening tip controlled by the Panthers. Gant with it. Hands to Andre Ulrich. Ulrich playing well over 30 minutes a game. A lot of pressure put on him. Here's Peterson. Got to the glass, missed the shot. I think that time Kirk King, who's starting for Donnie Marshall, got a piece of it. Here's Knight. Three-pointer Allen. A little strong. Tipped up. Rebounded by Gant. We're just underway in the first 30 seconds from Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. We mentioned this brand new court. Both teams have played one game on this court.
That's right. UConn actually played on this floor in the Great 8 tournament, beating Duke. Pitt later bought the court, and here it is.
And they played Robert Morris on this court. Good start for Mayo. Hits the three-pointer. He's a 38% three-point shooter, and the Panthers score first. Knight down low off the glass, missed the shot. Gant the rebound.
Pitt playing very aggressive trapping zone defense to start. The pace of this game, Pitt would favor a more half-court game. They've only got 2 players on the bench that they'll really go to. Connecticut deeper, would like to push it and get the press going.
Obviously, the Panthers cannot afford to get in foul trouble. And that has been the other big problem, the turnover for the Pitt Panthers. They come into this game averaging over 23 turnovers a game. Ronnie, you and I saw him set a Big East record last week. Turned it over 35 times against Georgetown. Georgetown
didn't convert in that game, and Connecticut, with many more offensive answers, has been very good when they get the steal to put the baskets down. It's a 1-3-1 by Pitt. Connecticut with a 2-1-2 offense.
In the corner. Ollie steps down, lost the ball. Peterson picks it up and gets it to Ulrich. He'll shoot a 3. It rattles out. Tracking it down is Kevin Ollie from Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles. Sheffer ahead, lays it up, no good. Tip, no good. Out of bounds, and it belongs to the Huskies. UConn will have it with 18-13 to play, down by a 3-point basket. Undefeated so far this year. There are 2 undefeated teams left, Clemson and UConn.
Great start for the Huskies. I think when they got that Duke win early, it really helped establish their confidence, and they've continued to play well with 3 Big East victories already.
Up high with the block, and you see the reaction from Peterson. He went up and blocked the shot of Kirk King.
Well, nowhere for Connecticut to hide. They're the number 2 ranked team in the country. Peterson very pumped up early in this game, and Fitzgerald Fieldhouse alive. There's the rejection, but from Connecticut's standpoint, they maintain possession of the basketball.
The Huskies are 0 for 4. They come in shooting almost 49% as a team, tied for first in the Big East.
Pitt plays a lot of zone. They don't want to get into foul trouble. They can't get into foul trouble. The jumpers will be there.
The follow by King. Kirk King, the sophomore from Baton Rouge, gets his first basket. It's a 3-2 Panther lead. Here's Mayo, who has the Pitt basket so far.
Huskies man-to-man right now, and the Huskies will mix it up between some zone defense, man-to-man, but we'll see a lot of 3/4 court press throughout the game.
Here's Antigua down the lane, feeds it off to Gant, gets King in the air and draws the foul. It'll be the first on Kirk King. It's the first foul of the night on the Huskies, who trail by 1. It's 3-2 with 17:15 left in the half.
This is a Pitt team that has come close in some ball games and lost. They play with a lot of intensity. Ralph Willard brings a real winning and fast-paced style from Western Kentucky. He can only do so many things right now with the lack of depth that he's faced with.
But only 7 scholarship players, as we mentioned. You talk about those close games. 6 of their games have been decided by 5 points or less. The Panthers are 2-4 in those games, so they have not been able to win the close ones.
A lot of times in a close game, you really look for your point guard play, and that's an area where Ulrich really has been a 2 guard. He stepped in and playing the point. But you'd like to have that good distribution down the stretch to get key baskets.
Andre leads the league in turnovers. He has 53 assists and 53 turnovers for Ulrich.
The rest of his teammates, though, are below that 1-to-1 ratio, so turnovers have been a major problem.
Stepped on the sideline. The Pitt Panthers lead it 5-2 on a 3-point basket and a couple of free throws.
Well, this is a mental mistake right here by Daron. There's some contact, and that's where Jim Calhoun had a comment but not enough by Antigua to merit a foul in the opinion of Jody Sylvester right on the play. Stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
We have played 3 minutes of this opening half. Antigua goes baseline. Up with a jumper. Rolls off. On the weak side, Gant scrambling with Sheffer, but Daron comes out of there with it. To the foul line and kicks it in the corner. And before Gant went over his back, he traveled, and that's the 3rd turnover in the early minutes by the Huskies, now ranked number 2 in the country.
Connecticut with several turnovers themselves to start this ball game, giving Pitt an opportunity to get off to a good start, jump out to the lead, and build some confidence. But John, here's that press, the 2-2-1, and this should be a big factor in this ball game.
Panthers able to handle it first time down. Antigua will launch a 3. Comes right back at him. Gant scrapping for that rebound. Can't come up with it. Finally, the Panthers do get it and then throw it away. Ollie has no help. It's 1-on-3. It's taken away from behind and saved. Peterson at the other end. Here comes King. Good.
Great hustle by Pitt that time to come up with the play. Ulrich with the save. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. Excellent hustle.
7-2. Panthers leading by 5. They trap in the corner. And this is where they've got to be careful. They get in foul trouble, as you mentioned, Ronnie. They can have serious problems.
Yeah, you've got to play good defense with your feet if you're Pitt, because, again, not a lot of answers on the bench for Ralph Willard.
First time out comes with 15:58 to play in the half. Back after these messages. The Huskies.
Yeah, and it's also proof that if you stay with the play, as Antigua does there, you can come up with steals. Great hustle by Ulrich to keep it alive. And the rest is just fortunate for Pitt, but they're able to finish. And this is what you want to do. Get a steal and make the team that turns it over pay the price. Good start by Pitt in this ballgame.
These two teams are combined 3 for 13 shooting so far. Pitt has made 2 baskets. The Huskies have made 1. Here's Fair for 3, rattling out. Rebounded by Peterson. Brian Fair checking in. Part of that great class of 91, Ronnie, that included Danielle Marshall, who's now with Minnesota. Richie Ashmead, who's now a senior at Rutgers. Jeff Calhoun, injured, really didn't get a chance to play. He's now going to school at the University of Miami. But Fair, Johnson, Donnie Marshall, Kevin Ollie, and Tambu Willingham all still here, still looking for another step up that ladder for UConn.
A lot of wins for that group.
Absolutely. 64 and 28 in their careers. 2 NCAAs and 1 NIT. Thomas for 3. Rims out. Gant with a follow. Saved by Allen. Now Fair around Antigua. He lost the handle. It goes out of bounds. Pitt Panther basketball. We have played just about 5 minutes. That's turnover number 5, and the lead for Pitt is 5.
Well, the good start has been critical for Pitt in this game. They've established themselves defensively, and Connecticut is out of sync right now offensively. They missed the leadership that Marshall would give them. I look for Ray Allen in this game, John, to be a guy that really will step up his offense, as he has. He's been over 20 the last 3 games.
Bale on the wing. Thomas, who had his career high last week against Providence College, gets that one. He had a 21-point game against Providence.
Confidence is such a big thing. He's on a roll, comes out, and hits that jump shot.
Another turnover. Peterson out of there with it. That's 6 turnovers by the Huskies. The Panthers lead by 7. Jason Mayle on the perimeter. Thomas not afraid to shoot. Hits the 3.
He is pumped up. Fitzgerald Fieldhouse is pumped up. And right now, important for Connecticut on the road to keep their poise. They need a basket here just to settle things down.
A 9-0 run by the Panthers. They've opened up a 10-point lead and fouled on his way to the hoop. And these Panthers are really fired up right now.
Well, what happens here is you look at Donnie Marshall, nothing more frustrating for a competitor to have to sit and watch is that the confidence right now on the part of Pitt is at a real high. And for Connecticut to answer and quiet this crowd, they've got to get a couple of baskets to go and just take things one at a time.
By the way, Garrick Thomas's brother is on the UConn team, Marcus Thomas, who went to high school here in the Pittsburgh area at Newcastle, Pennsylvania. The Panthers with 7 points off turnovers so far. So, Ronnie, that has been the reverse of what we thought we might see.
Well, it's been the reverse of what we've seen leading into this game.
That's
but
for sure.
Pitt is clearly turning the tables so far. An awful lot of time left to play, though, and a great start, though, for the Panthers.
They have not had this luxury of being ahead very often. In fact, they've had to dig themselves out of some huge holes to make games close. They just refuse to quit fighting, and it's a quick 12-point lead for Pitt. 14-2.
Then a Connecticut team that can put together points, as we said in the beginning, in bunches. To do that, Fair could get the hot hand, and Allen, and then set the press.
Here's Sheffer down the lane. Along the baseline, Allen went to the left hand. That one is blocked and a foul called on Antigua. First on Antigua. Second on the Panthers. 13:56 to play in the half. And checking back into the lineup is Kevin Ollie. Allen sits. Hayward will go to the line. Eric, the 6'7", 250-pound junior from Alexandria, Louisiana.
Jim Calhoun tends to platoon Hayward, Travis Knight, Boo Willingham in the middle.
But of late, Knight is getting more and more playing time, Ronnie. He's had double-figure games each of his last 3. He only had 1 in his first 64 college games.
Yeah, he's just getting better and better. He really opened the season well on the boards. He continues to rebound well for Connecticut, leading the team in that category.
Only 1 field goal in the first 6 minutes of this game. The Panthers trying to handle the pressure. You know the Huskies, they like to run you to the side and trap you. But so far, Pitt has handled it very well. Peterson down low, up and in.
I think they're count it. I think they got him for an offensive, John.
You're right.
I think it's a good call. He leaned his shoulder in and really ended up with a takeout, and that's an offensive foul. The 1-3-1, a good-looking zone so far for Pitt. They're extending and trapping. Connecticut's got to move the ball.
Sheffer turns it over. The Panthers have a 4-on-2. Mayo pulls up for the jumper, bending off. Follow Antigua.
Oh, Antigua, he is playing with a high level of emotion so far in this game.
And Sheffer almost turned it over again. The Panthers scrapping along that sideline, get the basketball back. Lines up in the hands of Peterson. They'll reset. 16-4. Mayo down the lane. Lays it in.
Excellent opportunity by Mayo. This crowd is going wild, and Jim Calhoun says, hey, we got to regroup with a timeout.
Calhoun calls time. They're loving it in Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. 13:01 remaining in the half. The Panthers by 14. Back after a word from your local station. 15-4 Pitt.
Well, Pitt just opens up so well in this game. They've been the aggressor. They've been getting loose balls, hitting the offensive glass. That's Antigua with the follow off of the Mayo miss. UConn failing to box out on that play in transition.
And failing to guard Mayo, who just came right down the middle.
Yeah, he saw the seam. He stepped right in there and made the shot. Connecticut has been careless with the ball so far in this game, and that's why Jim Calhoun called the timeout. Pitt has been capitalizing. He said, hey, guys, keep your poise, settle down. We'll just get it 1 hoop at a time.
Foul from behind. That'll be number 2 on Antigua. They got the ball low that time to Travis Knight, who was going to go up and put it in. We talk about the minutes these guys are playing. Aldridge averaging almost 38 minutes a game. Peterson 35 minutes. Antigua 33 minutes per ball game.
Now they're going to go most of the way if Ralph Willard has his way out there. And for Connecticut, they'll have better depth in this game. Right now, they just need to find themselves. A basket like that always settles things down. And for Connecticut, you come in ranked number 2 in the country. You're in Pitt's home court. Everyone's fired up here. They're dying for a victory, get their first league win. So this is what UConn's up against right now due to the success they've had. 1
out of 2 for Knight, and that's what he has been, a 50% free throw shooter. It's 18-5. Pittsburgh leading UConn. Panthers are getting used to playing these top 5 teams. This is the 3rd team to be ranked in the top 5 when they played Pitt. UMass was 1, North Carolina the other.
Connecticut stays with the man-to-man.
Antigua's 3, rims out. Kevin Ollie brings it back, finds Allen alone as Sheffer. That's how quickly they can turn it the other way.
Beautiful touch pass by Ray Allen to see the open Sheffer.
Ends a drought of almost 5 minutes between field goals for the Huskies. So So far, Ulrich and the Panthers doing a good job of handling the pressure.
Yeah, the press hasn't been a factor at all so far. Connecticut really hasn't been able to set it up that much because they haven't been getting the field goals.
Here comes Antigua spinning in the lane, bending off. Sheffer is fouled along the, no foul called. Peterson knocked it out of bounds. Battling Sheffer for the rebound. It's 18-7.
Number 32, Kurt King.
King checking back into the lineup. He started tonight in place of Donnie Marshall, who, as we have showed you, is here. He's seated in the stands behind the UConn bench.
2-3 zone now by Pitt. They've been using a 1-3-1 and a 2-3. Allen and Sheffer and Ollie should get some open jumpers.
Oh, King on the alley-oop.
Oh, love the timing on that one. How about King? We've talked about his vertical leap before, John, but really saw it in action on that one.
18-9. Panthers' biggest lead was 14. Huskies have shaved 5 off of that. Gant spinning in the lane. He's fouled by King. One of those rare times to see Gant really look for his offense down low.
He tends to like to get the ball off the glass, bang the backboard. But I think he said, hey, I got the ball down on the block. Let me see if I can establish. Ray Allen with a great look last time, and Kirk King just skying on that play behind Jaime Peterson. That's totally a timing play. You make the eye contact.
Murray Cohen Mintz is checking into the lineup. Number 50. Part of that Israeli connection. There he is. 6'10", 215-pound freshman. Gant 2 for 2 at the line, has not made a field goal tonight. A chance to push it back to double digits. There's Daron Sheffer, who is a sophomore, but Daron will have 1 more year of eligibility, and that's all.
He's the other part of that Israeli connection. Sheffer, of course, starting in the backcourt, and Mintz, understand his fundamentals are outstanding. He shoots it well, passes it well, just needs some minutes and some experience.
20-9, Panthers by 11. We played 9 minutes. Here's Ollie. Sheffer, Allen, baseline jumper. Good, his first basket.
Well, that was great ball movement around the perimeter. The skip pass started it by Cohen Mintz.
Their perimeter defense just a bit, trying to take away some of those threes. The Panthers love to shoot 3-pointers. Pitt and Villanova shoot more 3-pointers than anybody in the Big East. Ollie will track down the long rebound after the Thomas miss. Alone, they forgot about Knight inside. Second time he's been standing all by himself. Good feed that time from Cohen Mintz.
He sees the floor well, and Cohen Mintz with an immediate lift off the bench.
Thomas almost lost it. Finds Gant. He's in traffic. Ulrich a 3 from straight away. Good. Andre Ulrich. That is his 28th three-pointer. Sheffer down the lane. Here's the big guy from outside. Three-pointer won't go. Gant the rebound.
Big-time box out by Jaime Peterson that time. He had Knight out around the foul line.
Panthers reset. We're midway through this opening half. Pitt leading by 10 right now, 23-13. Thomas with some spark off the bench, a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. He has 5.
Ralph Willard felt that the Panthers had to play near perfect basketball to pull off the upset. No, limit the turnovers and hit the boards and shoot it well.
Ulrich 3, good.
Oh, there's the shooting part.
7 points for Ulrich. And Ulrich picks up his first foul. That is the 5th Panther foul. And once again, Eric Hayward back into the lineup. Knight will go to the bench. Ollie, Fair, Cohen Mintz, Allen, who's been rather quiet, and Hayward thus far. With a steal. Ulrich Aldridge again. This time the three is short. Peterson battling for the rebound, but Allen comes out of there with it. They've got numbers. On the wing is Ollie. Misses the shot. Rebound Gant. They had the break that time. Possession arrow. UConn basketball.
Yeah, Connecticut tends to be very good finishing off when they get the fast break, but in this game, they've been out of sync so far in this first half.
Ollie comes out as Sheffer returns for Jim Calhoun's Huskies. The best start ever in the Big East was St. John's. They started 14-0 10 years ago.
That was some kind of start then, and it continues to be impressive now.
Interesting that the former Big East coach, now Clemson, has his team undefeated, isn't it?
That's right. Rick Barnes.
Allen, three. Rebound. Hayward from behind. Peterson picks up the foul. That's 2 on him. Antigua has a couple. I want to correct the scoring on Aldridge. He's got 8 points now with those 2 3-pointers and a couple of free throws. Back in once again is Rudy Johnson, the redshirt junior from Jacksonville, Florida. Going to the line is Hayward. He's 2 for 2 at the line tonight.
Jim Calhoun has been substituting freely in this first half to try to find a combination that will click out there.
When you spot the opponent 14, it takes you a while to get back in it.
That's right. Great start for Pitt. UConn coming off the big win Sunday against St. John's. They've got some big games coming up against Georgetown, Syracuse, at Kansas, and they hope to avoid a lull, but they're having one so far in this first half.
Johnson, much bigger, pushing out. Agalu's three. Good. Off the bench and hitting the three is Agalu. 4 different Panthers with 3-pointers already. Back comes Allen, floating into the lane, missed the shot. Peterson, the rebound, has it stripped away, and a foul called on Johnson.
Well, it's contagious right now, and the crowd fired up. The threes are going down for Pitt. They're playing with intensity, and you can just feel the confidence building for the young Panthers.
Biggest lead of the night. It's a 16-point lead for Pitt. 29-13. Nothing that Donnie Marshall can do but watch. 7 minutes and 48 seconds left in the half. Back with more Big East basketball after these messages. Doing it with long-range shooting.
Now they are just stroking those 3-point shots. There's Satiris Agalu dropping that one down. He was almost in the UConn bench by the time he finished that one off. And it's been contagious. Look at those numbers. None for Connecticut so far, in Pitt just under 50% with 5 trays.
Now they're trying to turn up the pressure defensively.
That's where they've got to do it. Connecticut's game is predicated off of its defense. They've got to get the press going, get some better pressure on the ball, and then get out and push the basketball.
And they have no points, no turnovers off their press so far.
They haven't been scoring as a result. The press hasn't been really set. They've got to get more aggressive in this half-court defense.
All alone is Peterson to the left hand and lays it in.
Wow, that was great ball movement by the Panthers.
Jaime Peterson. Now alone is King, and he jams it home. 6 points for Kirk King.
Great look by Sheffer that time in traffic. Connecticut's just going with their full-court man-to-man press. Not doing as much trapping as we normally see them do. It's just all-out man-to-man defense.
Fair is out there along with Ollie and Sheffer right now as they try to turn up the heat on the defensive side of the ball. Pitt also going basically with 3 guards. Here's Gant's baseline jumper.
Everybody stroking that basketball for the Panthers.
Pitt leading by 18. That's the biggest lead of the night. Second time they've been up by 18. Good bounce pass. Hayward, but it's stripped away out of bounds. Pitt basketball. Travis Knight will check back in for Jim Calhoun.
It's a good look by Brian Fair, but Hayward brings that ball down, and Gant able to deflect it off of Eric Hayward's leg.
And then turn referee immediately.
Not a bad idea when you're playing. Get that quick. Hey, that was with his leg.
11 turnovers to 4. That's exactly the opposite of what we might have suspected. Bales 3, bingo.
Well, the key thing here in this game, if you roll it back, the aggressive, well-played start of this ball game for Pitt, and they just have been building upon that. And Connecticut is digging a very deep hole right here. They've got to start to settle down.
Fair misses a three. The Panthers, Peterson with the rebound. 36-15. 21-point Pitt lead. Ulrich kicks it off to Agalu. They'll work the perimeter now. Mail to Gant. It's a little out of his range.
That was a good decision. I mean, Pitt made the right decisions in this first half. They've worked the ball well. Connecticut has just got to start to bear down defensively like that.
Good steal that time. It was knocked away by King. Here comes Fair back at the other end. Peterson up for the rebound.
Off balance shot.
Agalu will go coast to coast and draw the foul. That's number 3 on King. Agalu decided to turn up the pressure that time and try to go all the way.
This is as aggressive as I've seen Karis Agalu play. And, you know, John, it becomes contagious when a couple of players make plays. All of a sudden, players that normally don't take it to the goal start to do it in this game.
Back once again is Cohen Mintz. Kurt King will have to sit with the 3 fouls now. One thing they said about Peterson all the way through from high school to junior college, the prep school, they said he's too thin, he's too small, he won't be able to handle it. And here he is, the second leading rebounder in the Big East.
I always felt when I played, John, that there are some players that are lanky strong, and that's how I sort of register Jaime. He is thin, but he is strong enough and quick enough to get inside and get the rebounds.
Agalu's first chance at the line. Pitt has not missed at the free throw line tonight. The Panthers are 7 for 7. They're a much improved foul shooting team, shooting at 72%. That has been a tough area for them in the past.
John, the Panthers haven't done much wrong in this first half.
Certainly haven't. 38-15. Cohen Mintz down the lane. That's an offensive foul on him. Nothing is going right for the Huskies. They have a lot of work to do.
A lot of time left in this game, but right now, I think from Connecticut's standpoint, if they can shift this lead down around 15 points by halftime, that would be a goal. They're going to have to turn up the full court defensive pressure and try to get some kind of a run going.
Pitt started out on a 14-4 run. They're now, Ronnie, on an 18-2 run. Which team is number 2 in the country?
Well, there's no question Pitt was laying in wait here tonight for Connecticut. So far, they've been able to catch the Huskies and really have turned the table.
Just rolls over the rim for Antigua, shooting over Cohen Mintz. It's 40-15.
Well, we talked about Donnie Marshall and his emotional and inspirational play, not to mention the 16 points a game. Somebody's got to step it up for Connecticut.
Shepard with a 3, too strong. Allen up for the rebound and the follow. Boy, he exploded for that rebound.
There's Donnie right there. Ray Allen could be the guy. I mean, he's leading the team in scoring. He's an explosive offensive player. And he could start to take charge for the Huskies offensively.
Well, one thing you can expect, and we were told to expect from Ralph Willard's team, is that they would get better and better as the season went along. Here's Peterson, missed the shot. Knight the rebound. Allen. Back to Shepard, he traveled. Another turnover. That's 13 turnovers by the Huskies in the first half to just 5 for Pitt.
That's an amazing statistic. I never would have believed it before the game, but it's just been building with the Pitt defense in the first half.
40-17. 4 minutes exactly remaining in the half. Right now, these messages. Copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. Very balanced scoring for Pitt so far. 8 players have scored. You see Pitt coming in averaging 23. UConn only 14. The difference so far tonight, as you said, Ronnie, is amazing.
Well, we thought one of the keys was limiting turnovers. There's one with the home run try by Ulrich.
Shepard sliding back the other way. Count the basket.
Oh, coast to coast. What a great individual effort by Derone that time. And those are the kinds of plays that Connecticut needs. You know, they don't need all spectacular plays, but to silence this crowd right through there, knifing through is Derone Sheffer. drawing the foul, and this will enable the Huskies to set up their full court press if he can deliver the free throw.
I got it. Sheffer, the Rookie of the Year last year in the Big East because he played so well, beating out his teammate Ray Allen for that honor.
The half-court trapping setup, 2-1-2.
And a turnover. So now it's beginning to pay off a bit. Pitt with 2 turnovers the last 2 possessions. Hand check, I believe, called on Derek Thomas. Picks up his first foul. Thomas has 5, Agalu has 5, Ulrich has 8, Mail has 8, Peterson 4, Gant 6, and Antigua 4. Peterson back into the lineup. We're in the 1-and-1 now.
That is a good, even scoring by Pitt. They're getting everyone into the act. The threes have been going down, but last 2 times, John, Pitt has not taken care of the ball.
Sheffer now with 6.
The thing about Daron Shepard, never changes the expression on his face. He's constantly poised out there, seeing the open man.
Ulrich the rebound. Pitt leads it by 19. It's 40-21. Now the Huskies will try to do it with defense. Agalu finds Gant. Leans in, traveled first, no basket.
That's 3 times down the floor since the last time out. And Pitt has turned the ball over each time. The adjustment by Jim Calhoun into the half-court trap has been bothering Ralph Willard's club.
Biggest lead was 25. It was 40-15. Since then, the Huskies have run off 6. Allen a little careless with that pass, almost turned it over. Here comes Sheffer. They go baseline to Johnson. Held ball, and it belongs to Pittsburgh. Jim Calhoun, very frustrated. Johnson got trapped underneath that time, Ronnie, and had no place to go.
Triple team. That shot just wasn't there for Rudy. He tried to draw the foul. You're better off in that instance, if you can, to just kick the ball out. You can feel UConn right now turning the defense up a couple of notches.
They called Gant. Ted Valentine jumped in quickly and said, Gant, you fouled on the block. So that's a turnover and still no shot for Pitt.
Up to the offensive player there, and as Gant turned, that's where he was able to pick up that foul. The actual setting of the screen was fine. He stood there and took the blow.
He has 2 fouls. So does Peterson. So does Antigua. Jason Mail checking in for Agalu. Ollie to the line for the first time tonight.
Kevin Ollie's played so well this year. Look at the field goal percentage, up over 60%. He shot the 3 well when he's taken it. Antigua's in the lane that time. And he's distributed the ball very well with better than 6 assists per game and better than a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio.
We invite you to stay with us at halftime. Dick Vitale will present the Direct TV Dish Out the Winners sweepstakes. So have your pen and pencil ready to go. We'll also have our special feature on Lawrence Moten, all the halftime stats and highlights as well. Jason Mail, double team and threw it away. 4 straight times, Pitt has turned the ball over without a shot, and Allen finishes at the other end.
Wow, what athletic ability there by Allen in traffic with the jam, and the half-court traps continue to pay some dividends for the Huskies.
A 10-0 run for the Huskies set up by the turnovers. Pitt has turned it over 4 straight times. Mail misses a 3. Gant rebounding up off the glass. Good.
Oh, found a way to kiss that one home.
Here's Johnson quickly at the other end. That's blocked, and Gant will pick up number 3. And that's when Pitt can really get in trouble.
That's right, and all of a sudden the pace picks up there, and Connecticut much quicker to the basket, pushing the ball up the floor, and Pitt cannot afford to get guys into that kind of foul trouble.
They simply do not have enough bodies. With Varga out with the wrist surgery, Only 7 scholarship players, and probably their top walk-on, Marty Spruill, has also suffered from a stress fracture problem, so they just haven't had enough people.
Yeah, it's really 7 players, and Gant getting a rest there. It's a good move. There's no way that Ralph Willard wants to see Gant strong underneath, picking up his 4th before halftime.
Johnson at the line for the first time tonight. The redshirt junior from Jacksonville gets on the board.
He's a good role player off the bench. Rudy Johnson plays excellent defense. He's very quick up and down the floor.
Got them both. A pair for Johnson. Slices the lead to 15. A 12-2 run for the Huskies right now. It's UConn's turn to make a move. Ulrich has Mail on the wing, goes to him. Knight with a block and a foul.
Got to do that when you break pressures, go to the goal, and Pitt has also done a nice job with that in the first half, attacking against the press. So not only do you not turn it over, but you turn your offense into something positive against that pressure.
And Mail, one of the best free throw shooters in the conference, has only missed 3 this year.
See if you jinx him. He's got a very nice shot from the outside. He's also, as we've mentioned, very effective from 3-point range.
Has 2 3-pointers tonight. And of course we jinxed him. He's 26 out of 30 at the foul line. Why do they always do that?
That first one is always the toughest free throw to make. You get to the line for the first time, and you just have to try to find the range, as he does there.
That is the first miss by the Panthers at the foul line. 9 points for Jason Mail. 16-point Panther lead.
Ryan Fair hasn't really gotten into this one either, and he's been a big spark plug off the bench, turning it over that time.
15 turnovers. The Huskies right now at their average for a game. And still a minute and a half left in the first half. Right through the hands of Antigua.
Pitt's really been least effective when they've set up and been almost too patient. That's when they've turned it over. And Connecticut down 16. I felt when they went down over 20, if they could get it 15 or maybe even below that, they'd be in much better shape at halftime.
Allen misses the 3. But in getting the rebound, a foul is called. I believe that one's going to go against Antigua. If so, that'll be number 3 on Orlando.
Well, there's a lot of time to go in this game, and with Antigua and Gant both with 3 personals, that's not good news for the Pitt Panthers.
Antigua joins Gant. Now the Pitt Panthers go real small.
Yeah, Peterson's going to have to come up very big inside in the last 113 for Pitt.
Well, they have a very small forward, a center, and 3 guards. A small forward in Thomas, who plays guard. One at the line for Cohen Mintz, playing in his 8th game. He has 10 points, and there are Gant on the right, Antigua on the left. Both sitting with 3 fouls. And we mentioned it right at the beginning. It's the one thing that Pitt cannot afford to do. Peterson the rebound off the miss. 43-28, heading for the final minute of the first half. Pitt was much better offensively when they were shooting quickly, as you said, Ronnie, and shooting on the move.
They've become hesitant.
And they've started to turn it over more often.
I'll tell you, the zone, though, has been very effective by Pitt. They play a 1-3-1, but it's a lot of movement with the feet. The arms are up.
Allen going baseline, off the glass and good. 8 points now for Ray Allen. He's beginning to warm up a bit.
Yeah, he's a guy that can just make things happen out of almost nothing.
They've cut the lead to 13. Agalu a 3, short with it. Rebound by Cohen Mintz.
I think Agalu ever really had control of the basketball that time, and he thought about it. Thought he walked.
I think he did. And Jody Sylvester agrees. Turnover number 16 by the Huskies. He was in just a bit of a hurry that time.
It's a good call. It seemed to be a delayed reaction, but the right result. It looked like Cohen Mintz did drag the pivot foot.
Johnson checks back in, 43-30. They've sliced 12 points off that lead. And they've got a chance to settle in right here. They're not in bad shape.
Yeah, UConn fortunate to be down 13 here. Pitt will try to see if they can get the momentum basket going in at halftime. Whoa, that one looked like it was sailing.
It almost went to the seats, didn't it?
Got to get it in there.
3 seconds. Foul on Knight at the buzzer.
Nice pass by Ulrich from the top with the bounce pass.
The teams will head for the locker room, but we will finish this first half right here.
Kind of a lonely feeling when the lane clears out and you're out there all by yourself, but from Peterson's perspective, you got to just concentrate on that basket.
He's been a good foul shooter, shooting 77% coming in.
Now, we talked about his consistency, and he hasn't had a lot of touches in this first half. The open jumpers have been there, but he's banged away down low.
A pair at the line for him. The Panthers head to the locker room with the lead. They are up 45-30. We'll start our halftime here in Fitzgerald after these words from your local station. Matter of fact, that set up this move, Agalu, one of the Panthers with a three-pointer.
Yeah, they got the three going. That was one of the six, and it was pretty contagious for Pitt in the first half. They cooled off late, but they were able to get those shots going, and then Connecticut was able to mount a run of their own to chop 10 points off of that Pitt lead, get it to 15, which I thought they had to. Ray Allen with the big jam there, and he's on top of the Connecticut scoring.
He has 8, Sheffer 6, King has 6. Pitt Panthers really distributing the points. Mail leading away with 9. You've got Ulrich and Gant with 8. Of course, the problem, Donnie Marshall not in the lineup for the Huskies. All he can do is watch, sign a few autographs, check out some first half stats. He's a spectator, not a player tonight. Johnson double team. Long skip to Sheffer. Three-pointer. Good, and that's the way the second half begins.
Well, that's a good start for Connecticut. Just what you'd like if you're a Husky fan, to get the lead down to 12 and get the quick start for the second half.
Let's see if the Panthers can hang on to the basketball. That's what got them in trouble in the closing 5 minutes of the first half after they built that 40-15 lead.
The other thing they can't do is get tentative, and I thought late in the first half that Pitt did get tentative with the basketball.
That was deflected, so no turnover as Antigua tracked it down in backcourt. Shot clock though at 5. Knight, Ray out on Ulrich. Gant down the lane, lays it off the glass too hard. Peterson with a rebound.
Never hit the rim, so the 35-second shot clock goes off.
So the Panthers do not get a shot.
Chris Gant got it to the goal off the backboard, but never did catch iron, and that's when the buzzer went off.
We're in the opening minute of the second half. The lead is down to 12. It has been as many as 25. Three-pointer, Allen. Bending off, rebound, Gant. Good rebound by Gant in traffic.
Excellent rebound. Another area where Pitt has held its own. Good skip pass by Connecticut offensively that last time.
Ulrich ball off the foot, so with 18:40 to go in the game. Pitt 45 and the Huskies 33, but the Huskies with outscoring Pitt 18-5 down the stretch in the first half and early on here in the second half. We've got a fresh 35. Double team pressure by Ollie and Sheffer. Got that trap going on Mail. Find Antigua. Now Gant at the foul line. Mail down low. Comes back out for the jumper and drains it.
Good patience that time by Pitt, and that's a tough shot by Jason Mail. Again, Pitt will take some time off the clock because they don't want to get people into foul trouble and get into a track meet.
Almost stolen by Ulrich. It was early turnovers that got UConn in a hole, and Pitt raced out to a 25-point lead. Then using their defense, the Panthers beginning to turn it over. That one rattles out. The follow is good. Nice tip in by Knight.
I thought UConn just started out flat in this game, and Pitt was sky high executing. But right now, things are settling down.
Antigua's 3, a little short. Knight had the rebound. The jump ball, and it'll stay at this end of the court. Once again, Uri Cohen-Mintz back into the lineup for Johnson. Rudy will sit. 47-35. Ulrich leaning in, draws the foul, will go to the line. That's the second foul on Cohen-Mintz.
If Cohen Mintz had just held his ground, that would have been an offensive foul because Ulrich really did throw his body into him.
Andre Ulrich with 2 3-pointers and 8 points.
Cohen Mintz seeing more minutes tonight with Donnie Marshall out of this ball game. He's getting in there playing the forward slot.
The Panthers have only missed once at the line tonight. They've been very effective with their foul shooting. They will need him.
Yeah, that's for sure. We've talked a lot about Donnie tonight, but as much as anything, John, you've got a UConn team that's really been running on all cylinders, and you take one of those cylinders out, a very important one, and you can see the adjustments that the Huskies are trying to make without him tonight.
Cohen Mintz is alone for a moment. Now a good drive by Ollie.
Excellent drive by Ollie with the left hand. Connecticut has been going with the half-court trap. This is the 1-3-1 versus the full court. From Pitt's perspective, you need those passes to the corner and then the skip pass to the opposite wing.
Along the baseline, Peterson tried to go to Gant. It's knocked out of bounds. Touched last by the Huskies. 3 minutes into the second half. It's 49-37. The lead at halftime was 15. Here's Mayo. Plenty of time to load up a 3. It's off the front iron. Gant got the rebound. Ulrich will shoot a 3. This one no good. It missed everything. And again, the Panthers trying to keep it alive and do. Good hustle.
Jason Mayo all over the basketball that time. Peterson's got to get a little bit more involved with this Pitt offense down low, John. A lot of long jumping.
The 3-pointers that were going in the first half, not there, and that is a bad pass picked off by Allen. Goaltending. Give the basket to Ray Allen. He's in double figures at 10.
Great acceleration by Allen. We talked about athletic ability. That was an example of it. He just steals that flat lob pass, and he's got 3 Panthers around him. Antiqua swatting that one out of the cylinder. No question on the goaltend.
5-second call, and that is the first time that the press has really paid off in backcourt. The lead is down to 10. It was 15 at halftime, and at one point, it was 25. But now a timeout is going to be called by Ralph Willard. The Pitt Panthers need to regroup. 49-39 with 16:37 to play in the game. The Panthers still leading. We'll be back right after these messages from our friends at US Air. With good ball movement and results in a basket.
Well, if you can swing the basketball around the perimeter and then that nice high-low pass, normally that's your guard down to your big man, but Mayo with the nice fadeaway, getting it done. And Connecticut doing a nice job there to just get a quick pass and then the slice by Ollie.
Peterson with 2 blocks as we come back. He got Knight twice.
That's a great job by Peterson, and then the poise to not throw it away on the inbound.
Mayo being pressured by Ray Allen. Now Ulrich resets. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Just over 16 to play in the game.
Ulrich has really been solid with the basketball for Pitt in this game. Just 1 turnover at halftime, and he's really been poised setting up the Pitt offense.
Shot clock at 3 now. Ulrich, a runner from 3-point range.
Whoa.
Got it back. Down low. Peterson up. That one's blocked.
Travis Knight got it.
Traveling is the call. Sheffer was out of control, knew he couldn't grab the basketball back.
He left his feet, John, and that's where you get in trouble with the basketball with no one to throw it to. You know, Daron is saying, you know, where were my teammates on that play? Knight does a great job from behind, and then Daron up in the air.
Ulrich misses a 3. It's touched by the Huskies. Out of bounds, Panther basketball. 15:43 left in the game. The lead is 10. See Garrick Thomas back in the lineup, replacing Antigua right now. That turnover by Sheffer, the first of the second half. The Huskies cutting that down. Here comes Peterson stepping in, misses the shot, and fouls trying to get the rebound.
Too close to each other that time. Pitt had Mayo and Peterson within about 3 feet of each other. You need better spacing to open up the lanes for the shot.
Three Panthers now with 3 fouls. One of them will come back in. Mayo leaves as Antigua returns, so the 3 Panthers with 3 fouls are all on the court right now. 15.5 to play. Pitt trying to hang on.
Brian Fair has yet to get that hot hand going for Connecticut.
The double team in the corner. They did a good job that time of trapping Kirk King.
The big thing when you see players get trapped all the time is to try to get rid of the ball before the trap sets. Once it's on you, it's tough.
Fair's 3, rims out, tip up, no good. Another tip try, still another one, still one more. No, they won't go. And Thomas is fouled by Johnson.
Oh, what a great effort by Connecticut, but no one able to get that ball with 2 hands, which the coaches love to see you do, and then go back up strong. It's a great effort of keeping it alive, but no one able to get 2 hands on it, bring it down, and power it back up. That's like a tip drill that time.
They put the sandwich on Thomas, picked up the foul, Pitt again, not able to get it in. No, they got a timeout. The Panthers almost had their second 5-second call, but they do get the timeout. 15:09 to go. Pitt still leading by 10. Back after these words from your local Big East station. Early. Women's basketball. Connecticut rolls on. Big time over Providence.
The number 2 ranked team in the country, and they are really putting it to some of their opponents in Big East play.
Both programs ranked number 2, and here comes that full court pressure from the Huskies of UConn.
Of course, the Lady Huskies are playing against Tennessee, the number 1 ranked team in the country, next week.
Pretty good move by Aldridge that time. He kept his dribble, went all the way to the basket, drew the foul from Kevin Ollie.
Is the penetration, and you can turn up some good things when you get it to the goal, and Aldridge able to just get a step in front of Ollie that time to draw the foul.
It is 13 out of 14 from the line, Ronnie, doing very well tonight.
Well, they've really been playing what Ralph Willard had said beforehand. We got to play a near perfect game to upset the Huskies here at home tonight. Take good care of the ball, rebound, shoot it. And Connecticut, I'm sure, has a lot left in their arsenal with 15 to go, but Pitt has played very well to this point.
51-39. Little trap on Allen. Finds Johnson, steps away from trouble. Allen looking low to King, misses the jam. Peterson the rebound.
The pass not quite high enough for Kirk King that time. He did a good job to get a hand on it. Man-to-man by the Huskies.
Inside Peterson. Allen almost got a piece of it, but Jaime finishes it off.
Give and go basketball.
Now the Panthers come back. Fair from the baseline, way long. Allen saves it in the corner. Peterson out on Ollie. He just dances around him and goes to the hole.
Wow, what penetrating ability by Ollie. Get that ball so low to the ground.
53-41. Thomas for 3. Rattles out. Antigua the rebound. Down the lane he comes. Hands it to Peterson. He's fouled by King.
Great effort by Antigua. And that's what coaches love. Loose balls and you just go and you get it.
That is the 4th foul on Kirk King. Look at that effort.
Yeah, he just goes and gets the loose ball. That ball was kicked out of there by King, and Peterson, the main inside threat, along with Gant for the Panthers.
Peterson to the line for a pair. He's playing with 3 fouls. Gant with 3. Antigua with 3, and the first with 4 fouls is Kirk King.
That will again spell major problems for the Panthers if some combination of those 3 guys pick up their 4th personal soon, joining Kirk King in that category. Jaime Peterson, a junior college transfer from Champlain Junior College.
Gets both at the line. He is 4 for 4 and in double figures at 10. Pitt has been very effective in this building. In the last 10 years, 81 wins, 17 losses. A lot of those losses to the Huskies. When the Panthers had their good years, the only team that could beat them here in Fitzgerald was UConn.
Well, it's a relatively small, tight gym. The crowd gets really into it on campus.
Bears 3, spins it off, no good. Tip try by Johnson, no good. Still going up and scoring.
That's a great effort, and that's what you look for with offensive rebounding, just all-out effort.
Allen comes up with the steal. Baseball pass, Sheffer finishes.
What UConn can do, we talked about their ability at the beginning to put points together in spurts. Pitt again will try to set their offense and not allow Connecticut to put a big run together.
Well, Pitt last year opened 10-4. Finished 3-10 down the stretch. Johnson had it, lost it. Thomas along the baseline hangs, bending off. Rebound, Gant is fouled. He was hammered pretty good from behind.
Connecticut able to get the deflection. Johnson with a great effort. I think that was Ulrich with the nice tip down there to keep it alive for Pitt. Connecticut's got to do a better job boxing out inside, not allowing Pitt those second chances.
Can't quite get under that 10-point spread. That's 15 at halftime. At one point, it was 40-15.
Connecticut put a good run together. They had that half-court trap working well toward the latter stage of the first half. This is the big hump, though, John. If you get it down into that single-digit territory, put a run together, all of a sudden you're in a pretty close game.
The second coming up for Chris Gant. Only the second Panther miss at the line tonight.
Gant, of course, missed several games with that stress fracture in his foot.
Misses 2.
Connecticut was in early.
He'll get another chance. Like the old NBA. 3 to make 2.
I've seen a lot of that tonight where players have been over anxious getting their feet into the lane before the player releases.
Missed them all. Knight the rebound. This is Ollie. To Fair. Dances down the lane, uses the glass, it's good.
Connecticut's starting to push the basketball now with every opportunity they get, and they're getting some quick baskets.
The lead is down to 8. Thomas. Antigua. Trying to find Peterson under the basket. It was tapped away as Jason Mayle checks back in. Pitt using just 7 players, basically, and that's all the scholarship players they have. All the other players on the squad are walk-ons.
Talked about Chad Varga. He is out with the wrist injury. He would have been number 8, and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
King with 4 fouls, checks back in. Knight to the bench. Peterson got that quick pass and had it blocked. Ulrich gets it back to the Panthers.
Rudy Johnson again.
Thomas, 3 from deep in the corner. Fair up against Peterson, tapped out of bounds. It'll be Pitt ball. 12-18 to go, 55-47 Pitt. The Panthers in this second half have been outscored 17-10. Ray Allen is back. Johnson leaves.
The other thing late in this game, the way Connecticut has shuffled bodies in and out, we'll see if Pitt is the more tired club late in this game.
Ulrich had it, lost it, and then got it back. Oh, he telegraphed the pass. Sheffer wanted a foul. Didn't get it from Jody Sylvester. It'll be Pitt basketball near their own bench. A brand new floor here in Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, Scotiabank. In the next few years, they're going to have a whole new building.
The floor is a great start, though. It's a super surface, and Jim Calhoun really wanting the foul that time. Did look like Sheffer's hand was grabbed after he got a seemingly nice interception on the sideline.
Well, Ralph Willard blamed some of the problems with the stress fractures on the old court. There was no give to it at all. Allen almost had a steal. Mayle almost walked with it, penetrates, spins it up, missed the shot. Here's Antigua. He misses, and it's chipped in, but it's on the cylinder, won't count. Peterson right there to tap it in, but he got in just a little quick.
Let's see if that ball came off the rim. Antigua looks like he's got an easy one. Let's see if it's still over part of it. Yeah, I think that ball was partially over the rim. Good call that time as the ball hadn't quite gotten away from the cylinder.
Three-pointer comes up short. Allen with a good rebound, leans back in and count the basket.
That is a big one right there, and suddenly it's a 6-point game, a chance to take it down to 5, and look for the Connecticut pressure to become more and more of a factor.
And the bad news for Pitt, that foul was called on Peterson, and that is number 4.
Now that's what we've been talking about, and you know, Ralph Willard just not with that many answers when he goes to the bench. Peterson staying out there right now.
Allen to complete the three-point play. First time that the sophomore from Dalzell, South Carolina has been to the line.
Really limits your options from the coaching standpoint when you don't have people that you can put in for the replacement.
All of a sudden, it's a 5-point ball game. Gant looking for help. Took him 8 seconds to get it across. Mail down to Peterson. He got a little too far underneath, but he's going to get a chance to go to the line. He was fouled from behind by Eric Hayward.
Those are the kinds of things that Pitt has to continue to do. Break pressure. If the opportunity is there to attack, do it. If not, run your offense.
First time tonight for Boo Willingham, the senior from Atlanta, North Fulton High School, on the court for the first time. And Peterson has been perfect at the line, 4 out of 4. Pitt Panthers have seen their lead dwindle to 5.
Talked about depth from the get-go in this game as Jaime nears his season average, but Connecticut from the beginning has been going to the bench early and often. They've got the fresher bodies out there, and it's definitely the deeper club in this ball game.
A dozen for Peterson, 57-50.
One thing about this Pitt team, though, they play with a lot of intensity at all times.
They go all out. Remember that St. John's game in early December where they got down by 23 and came back to make it about a 5-point ball game.
Everyone has said that about the Panthers. Play hard.
In traffic, misses the shot. Is the foul on Antigua or Peterson? It's going to be on Antigua, so he has 4. Peterson 4, Gant 3. And there's still a long way to go. Just over 11 minutes left. Along with Ron Perry, I'm John Sanders. Great to have you with us tonight for Big East basketball, wherever you're watching us. An early shock for UConn, and they're trying to climb back. Allen can't get the roll.
Very difficult to do when you're on the road and fall behind the way UConn did. And John, at one point it got up to 25 points, and you know UConn has just methodically chopped back into it, a lot of it by picking up their defense.
A sellout, as always, at Fitzgerald, 6,798. That is capacity. Pitt has gone 3 minutes and 22 seconds without a field goal, over and back.
Mental mistake.
That's the press, the pressure. And those are the kind of mistakes Ralph Willard's club cannot make.
No, you just can't. You've got to bring the ball down, get good shots each time if you're Pitt, and work some time off the clock. That was not only a turnover, but it was a fast one.
Panthers sticking to that zone defense, which has been effective for them tonight.
They really limit you too defensively. They can't play tight man-to-man with Peterson and Antigua with 4. Antigua down right now.
Sheffer penetration gives off to Knight, who just lays it in. 7 points for Travis Knight. Travis Knight, a young man who had 1 double-point game in his first 64 college games, and then he gets 3 in a row. Mail, too strong, and those 3-pointers are not going right now for Pitt.
Well, it's a momentum game, and right now Connecticut's got it.
Sheffer feeding Ollie. Reverses Fair.
Connecticut can be very difficult to defend. Fair can hit the 3, Sheffer can hit it, and Ray Allen all from the perimeter, and Ollie's out there, and he's a great penetrator.
Sheffer for 3.
There it is. It's tough to extend your defense to all of those offensive weapons.
It's a 2-point ball game thanks to that 3-pointer by Sheffer. Sheffer with 14 to lead the way for UConn. Here's Gant down the lane, up with a jumper, too strong. Got it back, and then it was knocked out of bounds underneath. And the foul was called on Brian Fair. It's going to put Gant at the line. He missed 3 chances last time he got to the line as Johnson replaces Fair. 14-2 run right now for the Huskies.
Well, the Pitt Panthers right now have just got to try to regroup and not allow Connecticut to continue with this run, hold their own, try to slow down the momentum that the Huskies have built up.
They have cut it to 2. Critical now for Pitt to make their free throw opportunities. They'll have some chances at the line. That's the first point in the second half for Gant. He got 8 in the first half. Chris, the senior from Smiley High School in Houston.
Thought he was so improved from his sophomore to junior seasons. He really made an impact on this club last year. Continues to do so this year.
58-55. Shepard at the other end. Won't go. Follow. Spinning in.
Boy, Rudy Johnson playing with an unbelievable level of enthusiasm and intensity tonight.
The Pitt Panther lead is down to 1. Connecticut has never led in this game.
Been quite a climb back by UConn.
Jason Mayle thought about 3. Passed it up. Pitt working a little clock, 9:10 to go.
Anytime you can make up 25 points in a game, that is really saying something. That's keeping your poise, particularly on the road.
Antigua kicks it to Mayle. Again, Knight jumping out on him. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Antigua at the foul line hits it.
That's a big basket for Pitt.
But quickly comes Johnson. He scores, and they can tie the game.
Boy, Connecticut is just beating Pitt down the floor right now. Donnie Marshall loving that one, and that's the kind of play that Donnie likes to make a lot for Connecticut, beating the opposition down the floor and finishing off.
That's fast breaking after a made basket.
Pitt looks a little tired to me right now, John. Connecticut is continuing to pour it on and looks fresh out there.
60-59. Johnson to tie. It was 40-15, Pitt leading. Now it's 60-60. Johnson with 9, 8:45 to play. UConn outscoring Pitt 30-15 here in the second half.
Pitt needs one here to just try to regroup, get this crowd involved. They've been taken out of it pretty much in this second half by UConn.
Antigua goes to Gant. Agelu with some penetration goes back to Gant, who steps down the lane and scores.
Good ball movement by the Panthers that time to get the inside basket.
Brian Fair is double teamed. Kicked away by Gant. Hit up by a basket, 62-60. And the Pitt Panthers have not made a three-pointer in the second half. They had 6 in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, Connecticut's really extended the defense. Connecticut's got point production from 9 people in this game.
Fair with a three-pointer. And the first time tonight, the Huskies lead it 63-62. UConn has climbed all the way back. Tipped away. Huskies basketball. Here's Ollie.
Nice pass.
Gives it up to Allen, who lays it in.
Very unselfish, and Connecticut playing with an awful lot of confidence right now, and that's why they're the #2 ranked team in the country with just an amazing comeback in this game.
An amazing comeback is right. Three-pointer. First one of the second half. Agelu has 8. We're tied again. Here's Johnson. That's traveling. Everybody in the building called that one.
Well, Rudy never put it down. He walked with it.
It's a 65-65 game. 7:19 to play. Back after this from your local station. On that fast break.
They've been pushing the ball in this second half, and there's Shepard with the quick release, but Rudy Johnson and the Connecticut players getting up and down the floor. They look fresh, and the depth a factor in this one.
Shooting has really dropped off for the Pitt Panthers. In the first half, UConn had 9 fast break points. Pitt had 7 fast break points. Second half, Ronnie, 13 fast break points for the Huskies, none for Pitt. Antigua spins around Allen. Long dribble. Too long.
Covered a lot of ground there, and as you said, too much.
20th turnover for Pitt.
Orlando knows it. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm out there.
Uri Cohen Mintz has checked back in for the Huskies. getting a lot of minutes tonight.
Yeah, he really is with Donnie Marshall out. It's the 1-3-1 by Pitt. Connecticut continues to swing it very well against this zone.
Here comes Ollie. Now Fair. That's knocked away. The Huskies get it back. Allen double team. Gets it back. Shot clock at 5. Along the baseline, a little floater. King up with a follow.
Quality minutes in this game, too, for Kirk King. And he's got a lot of talent in there, getting to show his ability inside.
2-point lead for UConn. King playing with 4 fouls, by the way. As are Peterson and Antigua. This is Peterson. Up off the glass and good. We're tied.
Nice screening action that time, freeing up Peterson.
It has been a tremendous comeback by UConn. Now we're going to find out what this Pitt team is made of. Cohen Mintz is short. Went over the backboard. It'll be Pitt basketball with 6:06 to play. Sheffer and Knight will return for the Huskies. King and Fair will leave. Jim Calhoun. What a tremendous job he's done with this program in his 9th year. 3 NITs. They were champs in '88, 4 times NCAAs. Aldridge turns it over. Right in front of the UConn bench.
Dribbled right into the trap. You've got to get rid of it before the trap sets as you look at Jimmy Calhoun's record at Connecticut. In short, Jim Calhoun has won at Northeastern. He's really turned this Connecticut program into a perennial winner and tournament team.
Allen from deep in the corner. Oh, that's a 3.
Ray Allen.
18 for Ray Allen. Agalu tries to answer. Won't go. Sheffer the rebound. Long lead to Ollie and picking it off is Agalu. But then he can't hang on. He turned to look for a teammate, took his eye off the ball and turns it right back.
Good hustle. Antigua goes over there and gives him a pat in the back. He was frustrated that he couldn't hold on to it, but he does a good job just to get over and get a hand on this one, prevent an easy Husky basket.
Now a conversation as Agalu goes to the bench between Ted Valentine and Jody Sylvester. And Allen has really warmed it up. He's made 7 of his last 8 now. Closing in on his season average of 19. He has 18.
The question here is whether it's a fresh 35. Did Agalu ever have full possession of that basketball? And I don't think so. And I think that's the ruling right here, to take some time off the clock.
They'll run it down a little bit. Okay, 28. They don't need that much time. Johnson shoots quickly. The Huskies get it back, leading by 3, 70-67. This is Sheffer on with Johnson, Knight, Ollie and Allen. The 5-some out there right now for the 2nd-ranked Huskies of Connecticut. Along with Clemson, one of 2 unbeaten teams. Sheffer on the drive and kicks it way out for the 3. Aldridge the rebound, has it knocked away. Here comes Knight stepping down, lays it up and rolls it in.
Well, it's never over when you're around Connecticut. The hands always looking for the steal.
5-point lead. That's the biggest tonight for the Huskies. They were down by 25 in the first half.
Well, Pitt's going to need to hit a couple of those 3-point shots.
Almost stolen from Gant. It'll be UConn basketball on the possession arrow.
Pitt trying to regroup right out around midcourt to stay with it.
And Antigua all over his teammates right now. There's some emotion from that young man.
Question about it.
He was right in Andre Aldridge's face.
Now he wants this one. He's seen the lead slip away, and it's been a 30-point turnaround by Connecticut. Down by 25, up by 5, make it 7.
Allen able to keep his dribble. That's 20 points. He almost turned it over, but now it's a 7-point lead.
Tough for Pitt to come back like this because they don't have a lot of offensive firepower, but the 3 is always a dangerous weapon.
Well, you can bet that the Huskies will extend that perimeter defense.
Well, if they do that, then they've got to find Peterson inside, who's been effective.
This is Mail to Antigua. Ulrich for three. Peterson the tip in.
See, those shots are starting to fall front rim, John, and that's usually tired legs.
There's Ollie cut off. Allen for three. He's on fire. 23 for Ray Allen, coming off that 27-point ball game the other night.
Those legs don't look tired, and he's stepping up his game once again.
An 8-point lead, 77-69, and we have a timeout with 3 minutes and 41 seconds to play. It's slipping away for Pitt. The Huskies have regained control. Back with more after these messages. And Georgetown also on a roll after those opening season losses. Jim Calhoun's club has not lost yet. And this is the mark of a good club, a veteran club, down by 25, and they have really changed the momentum in the second half. Look at the difference in the turnover.
Oh, they've taken great care of the ball, and Pitt was so good with early, has lost control with the ball.
The Panthers were up 55-41 with about 14 minutes to go, but it's been a 26-14 run by the Huskies since then. Ulrich gets it back.
And Pitt has really gone cold from behind that three-point stripe, and they need to hit a couple of those down the stretch to try to tighten this ball game up.
The shooting percentage we showed you earlier down in the 20s, and that's not going to get it done. Antigua was three too strong. Johnson the rebound. They look to run, and here's Allen alone.
Pitt is tired right now, and Connecticut fresh. They've been going in and out with the substitutions, and you know that's the problem Ralph Willard has with the 7 bodies. They are getting beaten down the floor right now.
Allen is 7 for 7. Ulrich with a three. That one's short. Gant had it, lost it. Antigua has it stripped away and taken by Allen. A no-look pass to Ollie, and Knight lays it in.
Oh, what a catch by Ollie in Connecticut, just continuing to pour it on with 2.5 to go. It's been a game effort by Pitt, but they just can't slow down this Husky machine right now.
This is exactly what we expected to see from the beginning. Instead, it was the other way around as the Pitt Panthers controlled, dominated the basketball game, skipping down the lane. The shot goes in, but it will not count.
A bonus opportunity for Pitt.
And Pitt in the second half, 1 for 10 three-pointers.
I really believe, John, the last 5 or 6 they've taken, the Pitt players have just looked tired to me, and those shots have been falling off the front of the rim. I think Ulrich has really been playing his heart out tonight along with his teammates, but Connecticut with just too many answers, and Connecticut has really kept its poise on the road.
Ulrich now with 13 points, and I'm sure Donnie Marshall over there in the stands is beginning to feel a little bit better.
Well, nothing tougher for a competitor mid-season form to have to sit and watch, particularly the way things were going early, but he's not showing it until the final buzzer, but there's got to be some more relief right now the way his teammates are playing.
Here's Allen. From behind, Peterson got a piece of it. Allen got it back, uses the glass, and scores. Second straight 27-point game for Allen.
Well, he just keeps getting better and better, and I tell you, he's the kind of guy that puts a lot of points up there, and you don't realize how many that he's got.
Jason Mayo will get a chance to go back to the line after he is fouled by Johnson. And some of the capacity crowd heading home. They enjoyed it while the Panthers were hot.
Rudy Johnson's really played with so much intensity. What a lift off the bench. Well, this crowd was really into this game early. I think they surprised. I think the Pitt Panthers surprised even them with the way they came out and played in this one.
Blasting out to a 40-15 lead. But that's all gone.
Why, it's a 40-minute game, and there's an awful lot of time left when that happens early.
Here comes Johnson to lay it in. Rudy Johnson in double figures with 11. Knight has 11. Sheffer 14. Of course, Allen leading everybody with 27. He had 8 in the first half, did Allen. He has really opened it up with a 19-point second half. Thomas, three-pointer. It's short. Gant. A couple of head fakes. Won't go. Tip tried Thomas. No good. This is Ollie. He's got Sheffer with him.
This is where the point guard play is so helpful, too, with Ollie and Sheffer to handle it with the lead. We thought someone would step up in this game, and it's been Ray Allen, particularly, John, in this second half.
Absolutely. Finally, Ulrich picked picked up foul number 3.
Game effort, though, by the Panthers. What a start. They have not let up. The guys are just looking tired out there right now, having to go the distance.
It is not the bonus yet, not a shooting situation. That was only the 16th foul on Pitt. 1:06 remaining in this game. The Huskies will inbound right by their bench.
Some nice adjustments at halftime by Connecticut to extend their man-to-man pressure defense. The 3 really taken away in this second half. And Connecticut, with the defensive rebounding, have really pushed the ball well.
Another foul on Ulrich. He's got 4. But I think you hit on the key ingredient here, the ability of Jim Calhoun to rotate his players. He's used 11 different players. Pitt has used 7.
Now this is a Pitt team that's going to win some ball games though this year. They play with a lot of heart, and Ralph Willard, of course, has got that great recruiting class coming in, along with Jerry McCullough, who's having to sit out with the knee injury.
85-71, 25 down to 14 up with less than a minute to play. We're coming back with more basketball after these messages. There is Dick Grote for 16 years, the color analyst on Pitt Radio, and he's in a brace because he's recovering from back surgery. So Dick wants you to continue to get better, and we wish the same for Jerry McCullough.
Yeah, we sure do. Dick Grote, one of the great all-time athletes. Duke University, NBA, professional baseball. We hope his back feels better. Jerry McCullough, of course, just itching to get back. It'll be next season. And John, couldn't help but think during that timeout as Jerry McCullough looks on, what a terrific comeback by Connecticut in this game. And you come in ranked number 2, and Donnie Marshall sitting here. I mean, this is a team that can really build upon this kind of effort on the road tonight.
Donnie Marshall, a cheerleader tonight. He was in the weight room earlier today. As you said, he's probably the spiritual soul of this team.
No question. You talk about the emotion and the intensity of this club, and right away, Donnie Marshall comes to mind.
And Allen, the only thing he hasn't done well tonight is shoot his free throws. He's only 1 out of 4. Can't get the basketball back. Orlando Antigua checks back in. Gant will leave. And none of those Pitt Panthers fouled out.
Hung right in there. Antigua with the 4 and Peterson with the 4. Ralph Willard able to keep these guys on the floor, but having to go the whole distance against an array of UConn players.
A point-blank miss by Peterson, but he doesn't give up. Comes back again and scores.
Good effort.
That's 18 for Jaime. And a foul called on Jason Mayle. He'll pick up his 3rd. I mentioned Pitt had that lead of 40-15 in the first half. Since then, and that was 4:45 left in the first half, they were up by 25. UConn has outscored the Panthers 70-33.
Well, and it's been done very methodically by UConn and Jim Calhoun's team, based off of the defense and the intensity, taking the 3s away. And Pitt just was unable to keep that shooting touch going hot the way they had it early.
It was the first time that Connecticut had trailed at the half, and last year the Huskies trailed at the half 4 times and won all 4 of those games. Antigua, 3, yes.
Antigua played his heart out tonight for the Panthers.
Giving the foul is Jason Mayle. 9 seconds left. 85-76. UConn will remain undefeated at 11-0. Look at what's coming up for them. They will be home to Providence on the 14th. And then they will take on Georgetown at the Civic Center on the 16th. The Pitt Panthers will be in the Civic Arena on Saturday, taking on the Orangemen of Syracuse.
Doesn't get any easier. Syracuse with the very good start to this season themselves, with the 1-point victory their last time out against Nova. Lawrence Moten at the buzzer.
Mayle for 3, comes up short, and that'll do it. 85-76 is the final. A tremendous comeback for the 2nd-ranked Huskies. They roar back to win the basketball game. Donnie Marshall shaking a few hands. He'll be back when they come back on Saturday. The final again tonight. The Connecticut Huskies 85, the Pitt Panthers 76. Along with Ron Perry, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for being with us for Big East basketball from Fitzgerald Fieldhouse in Pittsburgh. A big, big night for Ray Allen. He finishes with 27 for the second straight night. The suspension is over for Donnie. He'll be back. 85-76 the final. The preceding has been a Big East Conference Television Network production. Good night, everyone.